Secret level time, Megapist Rex. It's no longer free. Sadly.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do have to actually play a level as fast as you can if you want the platinum this time.
Yep. This is not my platinum time, though.
Yeah.
Because I was just going through to get the gem, and I did all the relic stuff off screen. Because it's just playing through the levels again, but fast.
Yep.
If you don't hit the Steam cycles on time,
You're
or
screwed, yeah.
in my case, mistiming or misaiming a jump off one of the pterodactyls, it's the fucking worst because it feels like a really dumb mistake to do, and you feel like shit afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah. And the platinum relics, for those who haven't played Crash, are the super uber duper perfect times that take.
No, those are the developer times.
No. Those are the super ultra uber duper perfect times that don't mean anything.
With a little extra subtitle.
Yeah, there are developer times. If you go through the credits, you can see the developer times listed and try to beat them, but you don't actually get anything for doing it.
No,
Nope.
it is strictly bragging rights.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, platinum relics are bragging rights.
Yeah, because
Well, I guess not, because I guess you get a trophy for it now.
like that trophy there.
102%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But this game actually caps at 105%, but in order to do that, you need all the gold relics, and
Yes.
so that you can get the hidden gem from Coco.
Which the game sort of tells you about unintentionally in this game. In
Does
this
it?
version. Yeah, because...
Oh, right, because of the gem count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it didn't do in the original, so...
No. So now every new player is confused, wondering, what?
What gem am I missing?
I'm at 104%, but I'm missing a gem.
How does that work?
It was a cool secret, and to be honest, when I first heard about it, I thought it was another Mew rumor, so I ignored it.
Yeah, I thought it was a hoax.
I thought it was a Mew rumor, so I ignored it. It wasn't until I saw it in that magazine guide that I mentioned last part that I believed it. I'm like, oh, it's real? Wow.
And then you check the magazine to make sure it's not the April issue.
Yeah.
Well, the magazines that I bought usually had a separate section for their April Fool's crap. Like GamePro.
What
had
magazines did you buy,
GamePro,
Sky?
that kind of
Like,
thing.
yeah, I was GamePro and EGM.
Yeah, it's EGM. Apparently, the guy who did the Shu and Shan comics at the end is still making stuff with them.
Really?
Yeah, he does like animations on YouTube with them now.
Well, see, back when I bought Gaming Magazine, there were two specific EGMs. There was Electronic Gaming Monthly,
yeah, Electronic
which I
Gaming
think
Monthly.
which is more of the Game Informer of today, and then there was EGM, which I think focused more on like guides and codes for
I have a
specific
question.
video games,
Are
and
there
not so much
any
news.
legitimately printed gaming magazines other than Game Informer out?
To my knowledge, no.
No.
If you're gonna find any of them, they're
Yeah.
probably at a CVS pharmacy.
I mean, it's like, you know.
Well, I think
like,
no. There is a spiritual successor to Nintendo Power, kind of like a fanzine sort of thing.
Well, I don't want a
That's the
specific
printing.
Nintendo thing.
I'm just saying that
General
it's
Game
technically
Fest.
something. Okay, then. No,
It's
there
like,
isn't.
I'd like. I'd like to be able to religiously follow, like, and subscribe to that kind of magazine again, but I don't want it to be Game Informer because I don't trust the one that's printed and sold and included. In
I
your-
never heard Ryan get like that ever.
I'm sorry, but you know, I'm not a Nintendo kid. I just want a general gaming magazine for everything.
It's
you
literally
know?
the only other magazine I could think of.
Like I want to follow a gaming magazine, but I don't trust the one that's sold by GameStop, you know, because they're trying to sell me stuff. I know they are. It's kind of their thing.
Yep.
But
And that's why no one reads Game Informer.
well, I mean, I read Game Informer, but I don't have it because I wanted Game Informer. It just sort of coincidentally comes with my membership card. So
Yeah, it's mailed to you, so...
yeah, I might as well read it. I get it, but I'm not following it on purpose. It's just sort of collateral damage. I like the covers.
We're all being pretty sassy tonight.
Like, I know there are other magazines that handle specific specialty things. Like, I want to subscribe to Retro Gamer when I can, but that's more of a look at all.
But like
this old-
local published gaming magazines, I don't think those are a thing anymore.
Yeah,
No.
it's all like IGN and GameSpot now.
Yeah. Yeah. Media outlets online.
Yeah. There's just no reason to have printed material as far as like magazines and stuff go anymore.
Print is dead.
Well, you know, you can
Well,
go
no,
online.
I still like actual physical copies of like books, but like magazines, newspapers,
well, you know,
editorials, that sort of
it's a
stuff.
thing,
Kind of.
but there is an advantage to the printed stuff, and in that it keeps you focused. In that all of the stuff for a specific month is in this one package, so you're not going to get distracted by the other stuff that just happens to be on the same website, which is volumes upon volumes of stuff.
You can't new tab a magazine.
Just watch me.
It's the same deal with newspapers. Like the Burlington County Times, I can go online and read it whenever I want for free. But there's a certain advantage. There's something to be said.
Now,
about
did they just
buying the
back
paper.
to Crash? Did they? I think. Did they move the gem platform to actually come here now?
No, it was always here.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure if I remembered correctly. Well, yep, that's the end of the level then.
Nice smash cut. Or
Thank
crash
God.
cut, even.
Well, like I said, I got every box on the normal route when I was going through the level normally, so
Yeah,
that
I
way
think
we can just show the stuff we
I
did.
think we actually saw enough of the backtracking the first time around when we played this game, so I'm not really gonna mourn its absence.
Save everyone some time.
Okay, what's next? Just going,
Okay, what is
just
next?
stepping on
I
each
think-
button to see if you missed anything. That's
Just making sure, yep.
the end game ritual.
Yep.
There we go. There's one. This
Color
is
gem
the 5
path.
gem path. Here we go. Why are you running?
And you're...
past
Oh, okay, never mind. To get the checkpoint.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
getting the checkpoint and maxing out my mass.
well, semi-maxing it out, because I think the moment you step on this thing...
Yeah, that's more what I meant. And no, you keep the mask on these things in this version.
Interesting.
Mind you, it takes so long, you're not really going to be able to use it, but...
Yeah. Like, I remember the mask automatically deactivating when you use it.
Yeah. Oh,
You almost made it.
don't get too cocky, Star Crash.
Star
That sounds
Crash.
dangerous.
That actually sounds like a really edgy Star Fox ripoff from Taiwan or something.
Why Taiwan specifically?
I don't know. It was the first Asian word
Oh,
that popped
you
into
know.
It was the first Asian word that popped into my head. I might have. I don't know. Does Taiwan do video game ripoffs?
I'm pretty sure they do if you look hard enough.
Yeah,
Home such classics like the Lion Kong.
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why it popped into my head. It's because I see a lot of "Made in Taiwan" on the boxes at work.
Eh. Yeah. 5 little mini challenges is basically that's what this multi-path is.
Yeah, in Crash 2, I believe it was it not Pisting It Away? It was what was the name of the other level?
Well, you say 5 challenges, but the 5th gem usually just leads you to a short, no obstacles run to the end
Yeah,
of the level.
it's a gimme.
So
Like you
it's more
made
like
it.
4
I guess.
challenges.
Yeah, I can't remember what the stage in Crash 2 is.
It was the second Pisting It Away level.
It was,
I don't
yeah, it was the
remember
it was the second
Spacing
spacey
out,
level.
I think it was
Spacing Out, yeah.
Or
there you
spaced
go.
out.
It was spacing out.
Okay.
But I recorded that when we did the original games. It was not fun. Well, I mean, it was fun, but it was not fun in the sense that, it took forever.
And now it's John's turn to eventually get to it in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, you won't see my struggle.
The problem with recording a game is that when you get to those points where you have to try and retry and try again, you're always much more conscious of how much time it's taking.
Yes. And I really wish I can get the fuck over that.
Well, it's not just it's like there's 3 layers to it. 1, you're conscious of how bad you look when you fail. 2, you're
Yes.
conscious of how much file size it's taking up because of it.
Yes.
And
Well, file sizes aren't a thing for me, like, personally, but...
It's something I like to
it's-
be aware of.
and 3,
I get
it's,
really fucking conscious
Yeah.
about how my playing ability.
and 3, adding insult to injury, it's going to add to your workload when you actually have to edit it.
Yes.
Yeah, it just winds up with you taking more time in more ways than one.
Yeah, it's just interesting because some things that are fun to do while you're actually just playing the game on your own time are suddenly a massive chore when you have to work them into recording a Let's Play.
It's almost like it becomes work at that point. Oh, you play video games for a living? That must be so much fun and not stressful at all. Oh boy, jet ski. Can we be done with these?
I do love the ambience of this level, though.
Oh, it looks very pretty, but this game in general looks very pretty. Can it be fun, too?
Fun? Said David Cage.
Yeah, this is a very claustrophobic jet ski level. And this was true in the original as well, but it's...
Are we ever going to do a David Cage game?
That's up to you if you want to record Heavy Rain or something.
Can I invite Nora?
Sure, I don't care.
Do we have to do a David Cage game? Because I know the internet is going to hate me because I'm going to have so many complaints about the writing. I can't
Everyone
help
complains.
it, okay?
Well, that's why I wanted to invite Nora.
Like, yeah. She's got all the same complaints I do, so we'd be doubling down on it. I can't help it. I want to be a writer, so the writing complaints jump out at me. And when it's a David Cage game, it's basically a point and click adventure game without the point and click. So the writing is like
at least they have an excuse for his latest one. Everyone's supposed to be wooden and artificial.
Oh wait, you mean the one the game that they're finally making about
the Detroit Android ones.
Detroit.
Yeah, it's like the best piece of storytelling that's ever come out of that company is the tech demo about the robot. That was some legitimately, heart-wrenching stuff, and look it up on YouTube. What is it called? I think it's like the name of the robot. What's the name of the company? Quantum Dreams? They did a tech demo. Look up Quantum Dreams tech demo. If it's about a woman robot being assembled, then you've got the right one. It's a really good little CGI short.
Meanwhile, I'll just link you to the opening scene of Ghost in the Shell, and we'll have a much better time.
Well, better time than the game they're making of it, probably, but the short itself was legitimately good. I will give them props for that. I enjoyed watching it, and it left me with feelings.
Was anyone talking in that?
Well, yeah. It had dialogue.
Okay.
It was a little scene between a robot and the guy who's in charge of her spot on the assembly line. It's a nice little story, but the thing about David Cage is that when he tries to do a big, ambitious story, things get convoluted and dumb. And then they fall apart.
Emphasis on dumb.
They fall apart over the long haul because he can't avoid putting about 10 or 20 plot holes in any given story either. So it's kind of like that Stephen Moffat problem, where he writes best when he's contained to a very small story because he's got good ideas, and when he's forced to focus on those ideas, things work well. So the robot assembly line short was really nice. It was just a little short story that had a good moment to show and showed it well. Ugh. Then you get to Heavy Rain, where there was like a supernatural plot element that was removed mid-production and left
Jason, and it's pretty fucking obvious that it was.
Yeah. So,
And then the heavies start falling from the sky from Two Fort. And it's very, very weird.
And it's not
What do you think about Ethan's blackouts? I kind of like it. Well, good. Don't get too attached to it because it's never brought up again.
Yeah.
Bootis.
It's not like Heavy Rain is a bad story either. I mean, it's got weird quirks like the Uncanny Valley stuff and like the voice acting not being entirely natural in places.
And also when the game just decides to shit the bed every once in a while.
That too. It's like there's cool stuff in the story, but like.
Oh no, weren't we planning to do like Heavy Rain like a long ass time ago with like
We were planning to do
Hayden?
Heavy Rain with Hayden ages and ages ago. We were planning to do Infamous with Hayden ages.
It was
and ages
about
ago.
a year after we did the SGB run, if only because I was hoping we'd replicate the invisible boatmobile glitch. That was in the car such a long time ago.
Yeah,
That's been on the shelf with almost as long as Devil May Cry 4.
The Infamous playthrough. I actually started recording, but this was around the time we were doing Sonic 06, I think. So my computer shat the bed, and I lost everything. And by the time I got that fixed, I was like, I'm not feeling it anymore.
Art thou feeling it now, Mr. Lewis?
I actually probably do Infamous sometime soonish, because I have like a 60 FPS recording device now, and that's like one of the 2.5.
After you finish Persona 5, because we've been lagging
Well,
on that.
after I catch up on Persona 5, but like,
Yeah.
Infamous Infamous 1 is like one of the 2.5 PS3 games that actually runs on at 60 frames per second. So
2.5. What was the half a game?
Do you have like? Well, the other half is like one of the games that tries Sonic Unleashed because it tries to, but doesn't manage to keep it up. So it's only at 60 frames for about half the experience.
Right. And then you have
And
to add
even
a
if
bat.
you're playing it on the PS3.
Yeah. And then you get to add a bat, and it's about like 1/16 of that.
It's about
Man,
2.
the frame drops in the Adabat in Adabat are even worse in the PS3 version because you're dropping there from 60 rather than 30, so it's even more jarring.
At the very
This
least, it's from effort.
This box placement was annoying.
Yes, it is.
Like, they put 2 boxes off, so you gotta go back and jump the same ramp twice. That's so awkward, though. Why would you do that? Come on.
Because it is
To
a
extend
jet ski.
game time.
Yeah, except game time, and because it's a jet ski level. Sorry.
Let's just intentionally make the player have to do something really ungraceful to get all the boxes. Sure. Ungraceful and unfun, even. Who wants to go back and jump the same ramp twice? I was like, I wasn't feeling it the first time. Let me go back and try that again.
Out thou feeling it now, Coco.
Oh, God. Ooh, okay. That wasn't so bad. I mean,
No.
it was, but...
And then I'm gonna die on the last bomb possible.
Ugh.
Shut up. We've all done that.
Yep.
You can line up all these
Easy.
ramps, start jumping like a madman, and it's like, oh no!
You just go in
Easy.
slow motion just as you're slowly descending, knowing you're gonna hit the bomb.
Whoa, okay. You made it. I actually thought you were gonna crash into that bomb there.
Show of hands who have also ignored the box gem on the way to that time warp.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Put your
Happen.
hand up, Jeff.